Welcome back to Bright Raven Gaming. I, as always, am your host, Bastion, and today we're going to be looking at a little bit more Spore. If you recall, I've been making a lot of peoples, right? That one being my last one that you have seen. But I thought maybe I would want to show you my Spore Encyclopedia. And let's start down here at the very bottom with the Filigum. The Filigum looked nice and cute, but then they turned into this, which is not quite so nice or cute, but rather terrifying looking. And I pretty much maxed out the complexity meter. I was just seeing what I could do, and I came up with something interesting. But that's kind of how I like to do things. The Mishog, the Moltos, but the next people we came up with was the Terratan, or the Terrator, rather. Let's get a nice look at these guys. I like to make critters too, and I'll show you some of those. But the Terrator, I turned him into a civilized creature. Tried to make sure I got the clothes on right, got him some pants. I think he looks pretty good. Looks like a good farmer with some really big tusks. Basically, this episode is just going to be an overview of some of the things that I've made. I hope you guys enjoy it. You know, it's not a, oh my goodness, this is groundbreaking stuff. Just going over a few things here and there. Like the Meyer Sire here. I wanted to try the eyes again with just another type of body style. Even though I could have probably put the legs back a little bit. Lots of spikes on him. Looks pretty cool. I'll actually walk him around a little bit, just to get his colors. His eyes bobble like crazy. But I went super heavy on the spikes with this guy. Looks pretty neat though. I enjoyed the design. Alright, now here is one of my, oh no, we'll go over here. The Kiwakas. This is actually, he's been in some of my worlds every once in a while. I like him quite a bit. I made his legs very short, very squat, but his feet huge and his hands huge. And he's awkward looking, but he still looks pretty neat. He's very bird-like. Made sure the wings were up there, and he's not even close on the complexity meter. I could have given him better beaks and stuff like that, but I wanted to kind of keep him like this. Now, when I brought him up to the civilization mode, or the tribal mode rather, he takes on this look. And if you watch him when he walks, it's kind of interesting. Those big feet, kind of cool. The only problem is he always like has his head down underneath his hat. But I definitely like him. He's got some of my favorite colors, so. Oh. Yeah, he's really one of the ones that I think I actually did a good job of making a bird for a change. One that I actually got up to the civilization because, yeah. So I got him up to the civilization. Let's take a quick look at him. He's got the nice hat, super spiky tail, armor everywhere, the omnivore mouth, which I really like, weird insectoid compound eyes and one in the middle, so he's always looking kind of up, poisonous nose. Now watch when he walks. This is kind of the cool part. His nose stays down at his armor, and his arms just kind of dangle there. Because I use legs for both the arms and the legs, which means they have a more dangly posture, but when you put hands on them, they kind of make them drag. Kind of like a knuckle dragger, as it were. And his nose kind of stays right there in the middle of the armor. So he actually works out pretty well. Super armored, high health pool, really cool one. I think that I actually have him available to play. So if that's something anybody would be interested in watching me play this guy any further on in the game, please tell me and I will make that happen. You will see that I actually got to civilization mode because I made some different housing and tanks for them. So they're pretty cool. I enjoy them quite a bit. Alright, let's go with the Cacto. Cacto's interesting just for no other reason than just the way they have to move around, because I have maxed them out. Gave them multiple mouths. Basically a living, walking, breathing cactus of doom. Even though I don't really like the hands that are on here. But I can't do anything about it, so we'll be fine. But watch how this thing walks around. This is one of my more abstract ideas. And then the eyes around this right here. Now this is how a tentacle creature should act, but instead I made it a plant creature. The only thing I don't like about it is it has a tendency to stick kind of here, so I need to kind of spread them apart a little bit. But I think they look pretty cool. Definitely an interesting plant critter that I could go in and edit a little bit more from here or there. I don't think I ever put them on a world. It was just one of those things, hey, I want to see what I can create, you know? Much like the barnacle here. And I redid the Cacto up here a little bit, so we'll see what he looks like. I wanted to show you the... Anytime you have something without legs, they move awkwardly on the ground, but they can move. So if you would like to see a legless creature, please leave it down in the comments below so I can see what I can do. Because I think it does look kind of cool. I could make like a Naga, maybe? Not sure. Let's look at the other version of the Cacto, shall we? Yeah, this is Cacto in Civilization World. So I did make a civilized Cacto. You gotta kind of feel sorry for those arms and those little hands, because they're just like, we're just here for the ride, guys. We don't really do much. He's like a little living totem pole, which is pretty cool. And again, I never put him in a world. It was just one of those situations where, hey, what can I make? I think it looks pretty cool. Alright. Rock boar. Jerem. Jerem is interesting for a very specific reason. Because I was able to elongate the nose and then put the pincers right here at the nose. Very basic design, but a nifty little animal for a world. Much like the Dejo, Dejo. It's got the bat wings going on, huge antlers, shark mouth. I would not want to meet this guy in any alley, because I'm pretty sure he would just straight up kill you. The antlered shark monster. Now we're getting to the more modern ones, the ones I've done recently-ish. The Anal. The Anal are pretty cool. They are one of my first attempts at a spidery people. And they are definitely spidery. They got the poison going on. They got the awesome legs. They got the multitudinous eyes. They got the poisonous tail stinger that goes under instead of over, because under just works better in this game. This is, of course, Civilization world. I think they look absolutely fantastic. But I don't think I ever put them in a game. I just created them. So it's like, well... yeah, but I think they look absolutely awesome. Let me see. No, I don't think I ever put them in game, which is really sad. And I know I didn't because, yeah, so. The Europe, we have actually seen the Europe in Civilization mode in one of my gameplay sessions. This is another attempt at a nice little bird people. Oh, did that wrong, didn't I? Whoops. I wanted to walk him around. And this is one I befriended. And his arms just kind of dangle there. He looks kind of cool. Big legs. Always kind of kneeling. Huge throat. Nice antlers. This is one of the very few that the mask works perfectly on. I was very happy with it. He's just one of the ones that actually worked when I build them completely. Very happy with it. Think he looks pretty cool. Definitely think he is one of my more successful ones. But the ones that you've seen so far are not my only attempts at a Cthulhu-esque horror creature. At the start of the game, when the credits are going through, you see a lot of silhouettes of certain creatures, and this was my attempt at making one of those creatures. And he's also one of the ones that I have been most successful with trying to get a straight back. Looks pretty good. Got a ton of tentacles everywhere. Even got some horns. The wide eyes. Very awesome looking. Of course, I attempted this with the Arsum a little bit when I actually did a playthrough. Of course, I did the Arsum a little bit differently, and that's fine. The Tulu is its own thing, and the Arsum are their own thing. And I think, you know, they might be distant cousins, but for the most part, I'm super happy with the things that I'm able to create. So, hoping you guys are enjoying this little overview of some of the creatures I've gone through. Alright. Now let's go with some of the ones that are more recent. Like the Ravinian. You guys remember the Ravinian, right? He was with my first game that completely just crashed. And I completely lost him. But he's still in the creative mode, so I can at least show him off a little bit. This was my attempt at the Bright Raven Gaming Ravinian, or a Raven person. Still needs a ton of work done, but the game crashed before I could do it. I don't really like flying creatures for the most part in this game, but I was enjoying him and come back in and the world just does not exist anymore. That was weird. Thankfully that's not happened with any of the other games. And speaking of which, I know I've been bouncing around with a lot of different creations. Major reason I do that is just for my own enjoyment's sake. You guys just tell me which creature you would like me to really stick with, and I'll try and pull that particular world off until my end of the game, the end game on that one, which gets to space and a little bit further. But until then, I'll just keep kind of bouncing around, enjoying the game, seeing what I can create, because the creation in this game, even though it's like 12 years old, is a lot of fun for me. And this one was definitely a random name because I'm not going to call anything something I can barely pronounce. So, but I think he looks pretty cool. Another attempt at an insectoid creature. He's got the nice big antennae, tons of eyes. Again, the omnivore mouth with poison sacs. Interesting arms here. He's got spikes on them. Looks to be like an extended finger that just never grew into a finger and instead a spike. But when he walks, he is by far one of my best four-legged walkers. He's fairly competent on his legs. One of my most insectile that I made. Very interesting. I enjoy him quite a bit. Kind of wish I would have put him in the world instead of something else. Definitely a potential for a race instead of just an animal, just by the way he walks. Pretty cool. Definitely pretty cool. He might actually be one of my creations that I actually put in world. I think he is. So if you guys would like to see him, please tell me. Here's another one of my attempts at a spider-like race, except this time I did a two-legged version instead of a four-legged version. And then I put him up to civilization instead of tribal. Oh yeah. Very insecty, very spidery. Got some awesome tentacles there. Compound eyes. And there's a reason I gave him that hat. And I will back out and show you that. Because when I was making him, the first version of it, which is kind of interesting, I gave him a hat there too when he was in his creature mode. But in creature mode, I gave them a bone hat. So when I went up to civilization mode, I knew if they were going to wear a hat, they would have to wear a hat that was more pronounced and would be able to go over their bone crest. And so that's what I did. That's how I came up with that huge, huge hat. And I think it works. I think it works pseudo for a spider-like humanoid, maybe? Sort of. I don't know. You guys can tell me in the comments below what you think. Alright, let's move on to the Conda. I really like the Conda. The Conda were awesome. You saw a couple of episodes with the Conda. And I think I was getting truly close with doing a spider-like creation with the Conda. But game crashed and I lost them, which was really sad because they worked really well. A lot of fun with the Conda. But they were actually one you've seen gameplay of. One that you've not seen gameplay of was the Intats. Or Inats. Sorry, Inats. So I'm going to show you the Inats. And I'm going to kind of show you evolution from here all the way up. Because this is the original creation. This is tribal. This is civilization. This is space age. This is one of the few ones I've actually done all of them with. So I'll see what you guys think. Let's start this out here. Now, as you may notice, they are a Cycloptian race with large feet that come out where the arms should be, and the arms come out where the feet should be. But they walk alright without too much trouble. They're not horribly insecty, but they're a little insecty. They're just kind of their own thing, right? But as I have them go up into tribal mode, you notice a few changes. They got nice armor now. They're starting to get a little bit more warrior-like, maybe, because you know, they got some armor on. Got armor there. They got a big spike to protect themselves. Do not ask me where these people's private parts are because I don't know. Looks a little awkward, that spike, now that I look at it from this angle. I apologize. And here we are in civilization mode.
Huh?
Yes.
Oh.
Ah.
Hey!
Big hat. Nice armor, especially around the eye. They want to protect that. They still have some of their cultural things from when they were just cavemen. But they're definitely trying to protect their head, you know. It's probably their most vulnerable part, it seems. Yeah, I know you're tired, buddy. It's okay. Alright. Next. Here we go. From civilization to space. Now, I enjoy this quite a bit.
Huh? Oh?
Because pretty much everything changed slightly. They don't protect that eye. They have a mask over the entire thing. And they all have these rocket packs that have wings on them. Tesla coils that they can shoot people with. But they still keep some of their tribalness to them. Tribal armor. And how they work with some of their emotes.
Woo! Ta-da!
If you notice the little arms underneath, they hunker down pretty good. Too bad that the mouth has a tendency to go through the helmet. That is like the only thing that has ever annoyed me about these people. Yep. But I definitely enjoy them. I think they are an interesting looking peoples. Next, I'm going to show off an animal. Normally, I don't just show off the animals that I made, but this one kind of looks cool. I just wanted to see what I could pull off before I tried to pull it off in an actual game. This is like a turtle-shelled, antlered, one-eyed boar of some sort. Long neck, huge body. Kind of just an experiment to see what I could do. And as a perchance cow or pig-like thing, I think it works fairly well. Now we get to the Arasu. So let's take a look at the Arasu. This guy has definitely been in more episodes of mine than anything else because the game did not completely wreck it. I enjoyed greatly that he's here. Because he is an absolutely fantastic little guy. Everything about him just kind of works. Which is highly enjoyable to play. And for a herbivore, I think that's rather difficult. Because they just don't grow as fast. And this is his tribal phase. And I have started on his civilization phase. I'm going to make sure I leave him with a mask because I think he looks absolutely fantastic with a mask. But I'm kind of happy with the tank that I have made. Because I tried to emulate the Arasum slightly in the vehicles, right? So the big eyes, the tusks. It's kind of ridiculous. So I tried to make it very, hey, look here. Kind of like the, I'll go ahead and show this off too. When I was trying to think of what the Inats would fly around in, this is what I came up with. A huge balloon-like dreadnought. I get some serious Final Fantasy vibes off of it, but I really enjoy it. I think it looks pretty cool. I don't know exactly how they got the balloons to segment together properly. But I never said I was great at this game. I just kind of wanted to make something, and I think it looks cool. Alright, what's next here? What's next? Oh yeah, the Imataw. The Imataw. I enjoyed the Imataw. They are actually a playable for me. Let's see what I did with the Imataw, shall we? A Cycloptian race. And I wanted their stock to be exceedingly high so they could be almost like a periscope. That was the desire here, for a periscope-like effect. The poison sacks, I put them there, but I tried to design them to where it was almost plant-like. So they have thorns coming out of them. Oh, there you go, fall asleep. Again, I used the omnivore mouth, but this is one of only 2 playable peoples that I gave the omnivore mouth to. Then I gave big tusks and big arms. And if you notice how he walks, you'll notice that the arms, again, are... I started out as legs. And so the arms just kind of flop there, right? Almost knuckle dragger-ish. And I gave him big old thick legs and kind of a pot belly. I think yeah. So if you would like to see episodes of this thick boy, please leave in the comment below. I'll probably put a couple episodes up anyway. The biggest thing I don't really like about him is these tusks that I gave him looks so praying mantis arm-like. But you can just imagine if this was a real creature that they could kind of bend those down and then kind of bring things into the mouth if necessary. Because if they were to extend, they would be about the same length as the mouth. And then he could just suck up all the juices with the proboscis there. So, I think that would be a thing. Yeah. I think it's cool. And then finally, the one I just put an episode up of, the Blamus. Or the Big Beak Boy. And I have not done much with him at all. I attempted knuckle dragging with him, except this time I used this bigger arms instead of the feet, so you don't get quite the dangliness of it, but you do get the movement that I was after. I don't know that I really like this guy, but I kind of find him amusing. I did not realize how many Cycloptean knuckle dragging creatures I made until I actually did this episode. I'm not gonna lie, because I did that with quite a few of them, just because I thought it kind of looks neat. But the Arasum, knuckle dragging, no. One-eyed, definitely not. I did something completely different. Go ahead and look over some that I did not really talk about. Again, Cycloptean, but I got that back really, really straight with him. I think I killed him, this people in a race. I think I killed this race in an episode that I did. And, pretty sure I did, if I remember correctly. With the Arasum. I think when I get them up to civilization, I kind of kill these poor guys. But they just look like they could be a pain in the butt. I am so glad that this game allows me to put my creations into the game. I think that is a really cool aspect of it. Because some of my things look pretty darn cool, and I want to show them off a little bit. And it's kind of hard to do every once in a while. But I really enjoy pretty much everything I make. It's just sometimes it doesn't work well. But sometimes it does. Alright, let's see here. I think we'll look at the Regule. That'll probably be it. One of my favorite attempts at just making a everyday farm animal from a spatial perspective. I think I did a pretty good job. He's a pig with some spikes, a little bitty tail, pig-like feet. Sounds like a pig. Big old ears. I can say the Regule. I can see the Regule on a different planet. Just thumping around, scrounging up stuff, oinking at stuff. And the tail is ridiculously small in comparison to the body of the other stuff. I think that's pretty neat. Got a nice splotchy pattern. Really enjoy this just for a animal perspective. I think he works pretty well. Alright, here we go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe that's going to just about do it for this episode of Spore. It was just to show you guys what I've created and what I can do. I might not be the most creative person, but by golly, I try. Now then, let's go back. And see just who I have to play with. There we go. I can play with my omnivorous friend that I was just showing there a moment ago. Last time I played was 11/01/17. That was a little while ago. But it just shows that I really do enjoy this game. Yeah. Tell me in the comments below which one you would like me to play next. At all. Because some of them are a little bit further than others. And some of them are very young. But all of them, I have enjoyed playing so far. So, I've been Bastion. This has been Bright Raven Gaming. Until next time, I wish you all a fantastic day.